Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City Council Special. Thank you, everyone. Next up is item 4. Good evening, everyone. This week is National Law Enforcement Week, and this proclamation is for that and also for National Peace Officers Memorial Day. So, proclamation. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. Established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas the members of Garden Ridge Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of citizens of Garden Ridge, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that all members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and liberty, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas it is fitting and proper that we express our gratitude for the dedicated service and courageous deeds of our law enforcement officers and for the contributions they have made to the security and well-being of all of our citizens, now therefore be it resolved that I, Larry Thompson, Mayor of Garden Ridge, call upon all the citizens of Garden Ridge and upon all patriotic, civil, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 12th through the 18th, 2019 as National Police Week. I ask all citizens to join in commemorating police officers past and present who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities and in doing so have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon the citizens of Garden Ridge to observe May 15th, tomorrow, as Peace Officers Memorial Day to honor those peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or have become disabled in the performance of their duty. To date, we have lost 23,716 peace officers. Witness in my hand, the 14th of May, 2019. So, as you heard, 23,000 have lost, over 23,000 peace officers have lost their lives. It's something that when it does touch you, you'll never forget. And it's something that our police department, an enviable police department, trains really hard and works really hard to ensure that not only our safety, but their safety as well. This week is an opportunity to remember those tomorrow during Memorial Day, but also this whole week. We started the commemoration back on the first when we had the Canyon Junior ROTC come in and post the colors in honor of our police department, and we'll continue this week. And so, although it's 1 week, please don't hesitate to remind your friends, your neighbors. It's every week and every day. We have a tremendous police department here, leadership, and all the way down to our newest rookie that work really hard to ensure that they have the utmost professionalism, dedication, service, and we are all absolutely the beneficiaries of that. And so, Lieutenant Bellinger, I want to hand this to you. Chief couldn't be here, but so we have our lieutenant. Sir, thank you very much. I'll get a picture. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So just really just a couple of words. I want to thank all of you folks and really all the citizens of Garden Ridge. We work in a very unique community. Two of my officers back there have worked at other police departments in their career, so they can attest to that we are uniquely supported. by the citizens of Garden Ridge. And it shows every day when we're out there talking to people, interacting with citizens. It shows through acts of kindness like this. Most of the people in here know me by my first name. Most of the people in here I know by first name. And so that's really cool as a police officer. When we go to training and we go to seminars and we talk to other officers and other agencies, it kind of puts it into perspective for us, because not everybody in this business gets the support like we do. So thank all of you. Appreciate that.
And we have one more thing. Councilwoman Bauer has a presentation to the police department.
I want a hug. Okay, Danny boy, this is for, excuse me, your whole department. It's a new recruit. And hopefully he won't be as chatty as your other new recruit. But there you are. We hope you like it in your department. And it's from all of us. Thank you very much for the past, present, and future.
Before we go off of item number 4, I'm going to open it up to the council if the council would like to say anything about this proclamation or about the police department before we move on to item 5. Starting over on the right side.
Well, I don't have a lot to say, except I agree with what Dan says. It's great to see one of the officers somewhere and say, hi, Chris, or hi, Bill, or hi, Dan. That kind of, just knowing I'm like there, to me, is a very positive thing. I could not imagine doing that in San Antonio.
My family and I feel safer knowing that Lieutenant Dan and the chief and all of the officers are out there keeping watch over the flock by night. So it actually makes me sleep better at night, Dan. So pass that on. Thanks for the friendship that we've had over the years. You're one of the first people I got to meet when I moved in December of 2011. So thanks for everything you do.
Dan brought up the fact that how much the whole department is respected in this community. I've often thought about this. I probably think 99%, if not more than that, actually have a deep respect for our police department, and I don't think you could find that in any city in the state of Texas or in the country. Thank you, guys.
Some of these are hard acts to follow. I'll just say, gentlemen, ladies, thanks. I sleep well at night. I don't worry about it. And I enjoy knowing you guys and, quite frankly, making some smart comments back and forth in that, because that makes the force far more human, the police force far more human, and the fact that we all know each other, we know each other by name. So that's awesome. I love it.
Past, present, and future. Thank you for everyone.
All right, thank you, council. And department, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Moving on now to item number 5, citizen comment. Citizen comment period. I have one person signed up for citizens' comments, and we have a few new people in here. The person that is signed up to speak knows this, but it can be a little awkward when none of us will speak back to the person that's speaking. But we have Mr. Shelby Trial. Sir, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I don't know what I'm going to say, but we'll just start. First, I want to congratulate
Name and address.
everybody on their, I was on the sheet, but I'll give it, 21657 Forest Water Circle, Shelby Trial. Congratulations to everybody on the election. Very good victory. Thank you for the outgoing council people for your service. Thank you for the incoming people for their service. Thank you for the people who are on the council who weren't just reelected. Thank you for your service. Something to remember, I think, is that, it doesn't just happen, it kind of starts at the top. And I think your council is very fortunate that you have a great city staff. You got a rock in your city administrator. You got a wonderful, great city secretary that's doing a great job. You got a good, all the departments, Public Works, you got a new person in water. It looks like he's going to be a keeper. And we're talking about PD, and this is National Law Enforcement Week, and we got an exceptional police department. But that exceptional police department starts with exceptional people, and we got them. So we are very fortunate in this city to have such a good staff, good leadership, and really, quite frankly, good citizens overall. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. And that concludes citizens' comments. Moving on to item 6, business items. First is 6A, and it's the canvass of results of May 4th, 2019 general election, City of Garden Ridge. Turn it over to City Administrator.
Well, in our May 4th, 2019 general election, there were 1,000 ballots cast, which equates to 30% of the registered voters in Garden Ridge. Larry Thompson received 65.53% of the ballots cast. Lisa Swint received 68.05%, and Brian Lancey 61.28%. Congratulations to each of you.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I need a motion if the council will accept the canvass as presented.
Move to approve.
I have place 1 with a motion to approve,
Second, second.
place
motion.
5 with a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And it is unanimous, and the canvass has been accepted. Next up is item 6B, Councilman Erickson, closing statement. Sir, the floor is yours. And I'm going to interrupt. We're going to give you a mic, because this is being recorded, and we want people to see this, so you're getting a mic.
Will you follow me around with the mic? All right. I feel like I'm doing a monologue. Nope, but I do want you to just stand by for 2 seconds. Okay, so Farmers Market of Garden Ridge. It's not on the agenda, but it says closing statement by Councilman Erickson. That's me, and I was there, and a lot of you were there, and there was a lot of work that went in to make that happen. So I think we had a total of 15 vendors, 3 cancellations, 1 showed up unannounced and sold birdhouses. He sold 2 of them, which is good, because that was $40 for him, and he said he wanted to come back. And everybody that was there as a vendor said they want to come back, and that's a good thing. And what we came up with as we were walking around talking to everybody, listening to some fantastic music, was second Saturdays in Garden Ridge. Rather than the Garden Ridge Farmers Market, call it second Saturdays. Most farmers markets in the area that are monthly are done on the first or third Saturdays of the month, or some are done during the week. But I think we have an opportunity here with the great feedback that I got from the vendors and the people walking around that this is something that we can do. So we have already set Saturday, the 8th of June. Lisa, you got to listen to this, right? You're involved. The 8th of June is going to be our next farmers market right out here in the parking lot from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have 2 bands. That's news to some of us here, right? We booked Chords of Grace for another 2-hour, 2 50-minute sets. They'll play from 9 to 11. And they've got a great acoustic guitar player coming in from New Braunfels. He'll play from 11 to 1. Because things that Nancy and I figured out from Saturday is that it's important to have pretty good weather, at least, not raining, but music is key. When the music stops, people go, okay, now what are we going to go do? So we're going to have 2 bands playing for 4 hours, and it's going to be a great time. And the overwhelming feedback other than just positive, was, hey, Rob, how come there's no farmers at the farmers market? So we are working diligently to get farmers at the farmers market. So second Saturdays in Garden Ridge, if it holds. But it's going to be up to all of you up here at the dais to see if that's something that you want to do. Because I'm going to help Kat run the one in June, and if we keep going second Saturdays, the one on 13 July Saturday. But I've already recommended that it's on, put under community involvement for June's council meeting to discuss it, and then council take action if it's something that the city wants to do going forward, whether it's once a month or once a quarter or something to that effect. And the reason I say that is because it's got to be a city function, since we don't, most farmers markets are privately run and privately owned on someone's parking lot or a shopping center's parking lot, or up in New Braunfels, Krause's German restaurant, his parking lot. So privately run, they can do that because they front the money and everything. We aren't going to front the money. We'll start charging, but it's going to take city involvement and city employee action and a lot of volunteer work if we want to make this happen. So I think it's a good thing. I'd like to see it keep going, and I'm in through the 13th of July to make sure that happens. But after that, it's up to you guys with what you want to do. So the farmers market was a success, not because of an idea that somebody had, but because of the hard work of a lot of people up here. And mainly, most of the work, I think, came from Kat. Nancy, would you agree? She took it on and chomped at it and said, okay, Rob, if you want to do this, here's what we need to do. And she came up with a continuity binder that would make any Air Force officer envious, because in the Air Force we love binders that tell us how to do things and checklists, as Larry Turbo Thompson can attest to, and so can Kanani back there, right? So she built a number of continuity folders, spreadsheets, and helped book these original 17 vendors. And it was not possible without your hard work. So she had a birthday the day before the farmer's market. She did such a great job of organizing this thing that she wasn't even there on Saturday, and it still happened. That's how good of an organizer she is. But I did notice that you didn't have enough color on your desk. Your binder is color coordinated, so I wanted to give you a little something. You have an orchid on your desk, but it doesn't require a lot of water, and it's a little bit of color and nice green, okay? Can I give you a hug? Okay. Thanks so much, Kat.
Thank you.
All right. Second Saturdays. We might actually be able to get North Park Audi out there and try to help out with second Saturdays, right? Some test drives or something out in another parking lot? Okay. Okay. So I want to talk about Cynthia next. She's not here on behalf of working tonight. She's here on her own accord because the city of Garden Ridge means so much to her, and she means so much to all of us. So I didn't know anything about being involved with city attorneys when I first got on board. In fact, when I got sworn in on the 6th of March, 2017, I wasn't sure what I'd got myself into. That's so far back that Larry was actually councilman place 5, and you were on the Planning and Zoning Commission, right? Or
No.
you're one of 8 commissions that you've been on. Okay, so anyway, so we go back and do a little executive session back there for hours, and I got to listen to a previous city attorney talk about literally the history of Garden Ridge, and he started out at 10 o'clock at night and said, first the earth cooled, then the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and then 1972 popped up, and we have our first ordinance designating the city of Garden Ridge. And then it was 10:30, and I'm like looking at Larry going, what did you talk me into? You know exactly what I'm talking about. So do you, Brian. You were right there, keeping the conversation going with the other attorney. So I walk out and I go, man, Megan, what have I gotten myself into? She was asleep because it was 1 o'clock in the morning when I got home, but I still carried on the conversation with her. So long story longer, I had my first opportunity where I needed some information as I was trying to prep for a council meeting. And so I called Nancy, and she says, you know what, Rob, you should just call Cynthia. And I go, oh, okay, I can do that. And so I called her, and I'm pretty sure that on her desk, there are no plants. I don't know what your desk looks like, but I don't think there's any plants. There's a bunch of different colors of Post-it notes and a lot of legal mumbo jumbo and jargon, and then a bunch of hot phones, or like kind of like bat phones, because every time I called her, regardless of the time during the day, she'd pick up. And then she'd say, "Hi, Councilman Erickson." And I go, "Hi, Cynthia, it's Rob Erickson." "Yeah, I know. What do you got? What do you need?" Like, "Well, do you have a couple minutes? It's the middle of the day." "Yep, go ahead." And she was always there, no matter what. That's a true statement. You were, every time I called, you were right there. So, and then I tried to take notes on all of our conversations because I was learning so much legal jargon and so much about civic law that I didn't want to forget it. So you need to have something on your desk other than bat phones and Post-it notes. So thanks so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? All right, who's next? Marissa. Okay. Marissa, even Shelby commented on her about the great work that she does and how lucky we are to have stolen her from the police department, right? So sorry, Lieutenant Dan, but how lucky are we to have Marissa doing all of our city secretary work? And she is awesome. And if you walk into her office, you will see the most organized office, I think, in the greater San Antonio area. We could probably put it up for competition in Comal County, probably the state of Texas. It's very well organized, but there is not a plant or a piece of color other than Post-it notes to be seen across like 3 or 4 tables, including the desk and 2 screens. Oh, you did? Was it Kat's? Did you steal hers from her desk? Did you give her an orchid, Kat? Is that how that happened? Okay, so Marissa, here's some color. It's green, so put it next to a Post-it note that would complement it, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you that have seen desks back in the hallway, you can see Kat's desk. It's got an orchid. Now it's going to have a little succulent plant thing. If you go back to Marissa's office, everything's perfect and organized and has its place. If you go to an office 2 offices down from Kat's, there is an office that everything has its place, but it's all on top of the desk in different little piles. But it's very well organized because Nancy, who runs the city day in, day out, and runs it so well, just like Shelby said, she knows where everything is. And she's so busy that she's going through a bunch of stuff. She doesn't have time to file it away. So maybe you guys could walk down, and you're going to be busy doing farmers market, second Saturday stuff, but Marissa, you can walk down and help her out. So, but make no mistake, the continuity of the city of Garden Ridge and the reason it runs so well is, yes, your elected officials up here and how organized they are, not me, but they are, including Lisa, but it's Nancy Kane and how she runs the daily business, the weekly business, monthly business, year-to-year, annual business of the city. It functions so well because of her leadership and her continuity. However, she needs to have some color on her desk. So, yeah, there's not any room on the desk, but
I find I will make some room there.
it'll be
I
good.
will.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to miss you, but I'm around. All right. So the chief is not here, but if you can pass something on to him, or just take it, that's fine. But don't tell him about it. So, all right. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, it's live. So give this to the chief. Okay. I am lucky enough to be a councilman who has not seen our chief of police desk, but I've seen enough TV shows to know what it must look like. I picture a room with 2-way mirrors in it and lights and a steel table with handcuff connections to it for interrogation. I have not seen that, but I'm pretty sure I know what it looks like. So I can't give him any color for his desk, right? Because that's just not going to look good for the chief of police. So I can't give him any color, but I can give him a pen, okay? This is a cross engraved pen, but you need to tell the chief that it's a magical pen, because as long as he's writing letters of promotion and recognition for your officers in the department and fellow departments out there, it's going to work like a champ. The second he tries to write a warning with that, especially one for me, it probably won't work. I guarantee if he's writing a ticket, it won't work. It's a magical pen. You pass it on to him? Thanks, Lieutenant Dan. Okay. All right, so speaking of pens, every time I came to a council meeting, as I was scrambling to get in here with my water, some notes, and my glasses, which in just 2 years, I have to wear reading glasses all the time. It happens fast. I was always scrambling for a pen. Always. But I wasn't the only one, because there were many meetings where I brought a pen, but it was a community pen, because it would go to John, and then Brian would need it, and I'd give it to Brian. Larry has like 8 pens up there, so, and we can't borrow those. So, John, thanks for everything. I've enjoyed being on council with you and sitting next to you for 3 years, and thanks so much. It was my pleasure. Okay. Brian and I have developed a special relationship here because he's on my left, and we turned into friends over 2 years. And we, what's that? Okay. The peanut gallery's over there. So, I appreciate your counsel over the last 2 years while on council. Thanks for your education on certain matters, and I look forward to what you are going to continue to do with the council for at least one more term, right? One more. Okay. Thank you. Now you have a pen. Okay.
I was hoping to get an envelope with some money in it.
You want to, I can't even say that live. So, next time. All right, who's next? Okay. So, thank you. Moving here to the city of Garden Ridge in 2011 and working at Randolph Air Force Base, anytime I met someone new, that they'd go, hey, where do you live? And I'd say, well, I live in Garden Ridge. And they go, oh, do you know Todd Arvison? I'm like, no, I don't. Well, he lives in Garden Ridge. You don't know him? I'm like, I don't. So I knew of Todd Arvison long before I actually got on the council and got to meet you. And we actually worked at Randolph Air Force Base together, right? But somewhere, and finally got to meet him when I was fortunate enough to get placed on council. So the amazing thing about Todd is he's totally plugged in to the community. If you have a question about anything with Comal ISD or what's going on with the schools, or hey, what are local businesses interested in Garden Ridge, or other Vulcan Quarry operations, Todd knows the answer. And if he doesn't know the answer, he knows who to go to get the answer for you. So, Todd, now you got a pen to take some more notes and not search for one, but thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. All right. Okay. What an awesome addition to the... No, you can't leave. No, it's just a pen. It doesn't match your green one, but that's a very nice pen. So when I met Kay prior to coming on to council, and when Larry was in this seat right here, and when Larry was elected as mayor, and we had a vacant seat, the first person I thought of was Kay. And it was just, for me, there was no other choice. You needed to be on council. The last thing we needed was another old guy up on council. We needed, come on, man. We needed, I'm on that too. And we're doing great. So we needed your expertise, your knowledge, your experience with the different commissions in the city, certainly planning and zoning, everything you've done with the parks. We needed you on council, and it was very pleasing when you said yes, and you joined us on Place 5. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay. All right, Larry. Well, we got one more. Lisa, I'm going to put this right here, because in about 5 minutes, you're going to be sitting right here, right? So now you have a pen. and there's a lot of writing that you're going to do with it. And kids, there's going to be, and Todd, there's going to be a lot of late nights where Wednesday nights you're not going to see her until Thursday morning. So just be ready for that. But we thank her for stepping up and running. Congratulations on being elected, and I look forward to what you're going to do on council. And thanks. And it's great to have you on board. And the city's in wonderful hands. So congratulations. Larry, okay. Megan and I met Larry and Kanani back in 2012. So Larry and Kanani were out doing Citizens Patrol of Garden Ridge, and they saw Megan and I running around frantically looking for our dog, Buddy. And we couldn't see him. We were over on Garden Ridge Drive, right? Yeah. And you pulled over and you said, hey, man, you look like you need some help. And I'm like, yeah, we're chasing Buddy, our dog. And I didn't think that there was any way we were ever going to track Buddy down because he doesn't like to be caught. And Larry and Kanani go, no, we're going to help you. We got this. And they figured out that Buddy likes to go traveling in cars, and all Larry did was basically open up the car door, and Buddy jumped in, and problem solved. And I said, my God, man, you must be a fighter pilot. And he goes, well, as a matter of fact, I am. I go by Turbo. I go, hey, man, I go by Leaf. And we were instant friends from there. And Kanani and Megan just kind of rolled their eyes and said, whatever, bunch of fighter pilots. But I did know, I could tell right away what profession you had been in before. We just hit it off right away. And I also remember very well, especially late at night in this back room, I remember this very well, walking in to City Hall and talking to you about elections coming up. And that Nadine was not going to run for re-election, and nobody had turned in a form to run yet. And so I came in going, well, someone has to be mayor. I don't know anything about it. And then we started talking, and you said, well, actually, let me tell you something. I'm thinking about running for mayor, and if that's the case, there might be, what do you want to do? And there might be a spot opening for place 2 later on. So, and we talked, and March 6th, here I was, right? So we've had some late nights. We've had some good discussions. We haven't always agreed, and that's a good thing. Not always agreeing is a good thing. But at the end of the day, when we vote, we put it to rest and we move on. So, and Larry and I have remained friends throughout that. And I was so excited to hear about the family that was coming and the family that was here. So congratulations, and got a pen for you too. All right, and that's all I got. I got one more thing I do need to say. So, just a lot of late nights, a lot of good discussions, not just with Megan, but remarkably with my children, and unremarkably, but of course, they're going to be right there helping me out with, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you think, where do you think the city should go, and how should Daddy vote on this? And, well, what's the research, Dad? I don't know. I'll call Cynthia, and we already know the rest of that story. So, but thank you for everything that all the support that you gave me in the last 2 years to make this happen. And the real reason I didn't choose to run for re-election was because I wanted somebody else up here like Lisa. A secondary reason was because as Maggie goes into her senior year, those late nights and all the meetings total at least a month away from home, her last year that she'll be in the house with us, maybe. Not trying to kick you out, baby. But, and I didn't want to miss any of that if I didn't need to. And you're going to have great support with Lisa up here too. So thank you. I've enjoyed it very much. I've learned more than I ever thought possible. But thank you, City of Garden Ridge.
Well, I do believe that concludes item 6B.
Eventually.
Not yet. No, we have to get you off of here first. I know. All right, so moving on, item 6C, issue certificates of election, administer oaths of office for mayor, council place 2, and council place 3. And I'm going to move down to the podium for this.
Do you have to raise your right hand? It doesn't say to, so I guess it's optional. All right. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, repeat after me. I, Larry Thompson,
I, Larry
do
Thompson,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the mayor of the city of Garden Ridge,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the city of Garden Ridge, of the mayor of the city of Garden Ridge,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United
the
States
Constitution and the laws of the United States
and this state, so help me God.
and the state, so help me God. So next, we're going to do place 2. So we're going to call Councilwoman-elect Lisa Swint up, and I believe Todd's going to administer the oath.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. Raise your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, repeat after me. I, Lisa Swint,
I, Lisa Swint,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully
the
execute
duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Alderman Place 2
of Alderman Place 2
of the city of Garden Ridge,
of the city of Garden Ridge,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And before we go any further, I'm going to ask the former Councilman Erickson to step down from place 2, and Councilwoman Swint to please take her place at place 2. And next, I'll ask place 3, Councilman Lanzy, to come on down, and I'm going to administer the oath. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Brian Lanzy,
I, Brian Lancy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Alderman Place 3
of Alderman Place 3
of the City of Garden Ridge,
the city of Garden Ridge,
State of Texas,
state of Texas,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir. Brian, you can sign right there. That way, right there. All right. Thank you. Take your That concludes item 6C. Congratulations to Councilwoman Swint and Councilman Lanzi. Moving on now to item 6D, election of mayor pro tem for one-year period expiring May 2020. And I'll entertain a discussion and any motions from the floor.
I move to recommend John McCaw as vice mayor. Is that where we are? Mayor pro tem?
Mayor Pro Tem? Okay, so I have from place 5, I have a motion to continue Councilman McCaw as Mayor Pro Tem for a period expiring May 2020. Can I get a second?
Second.
Place 4 with the second. Any further discussion or questions? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem McCaw. This is now your 18th year doing it? What's that? All right, thank you, council.
Walker over there, John, it'll be okay.
Moving on to item 6E, designation of authorized signers for bank accounts held by the City of Garden Ridge, First United Bank, and Tex Pool. Council will recall that the previous has been City Administrator, City Secretary, Mayor Pro Tem, and looking for any thoughts or a motion to continue with that lineup for the authorized signers on the two bank accounts. Council.
I move to continue as is.
Place 1 has a motion to continue with City Administrator, City Secretary, Mayor Pro Tem. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
And she now has to learn to push the mic.
I'll second.
And we have place 2 with a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of City Administrator, City Secretary, Mayor Pro Tem being authorized signers on the bank accounts, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Moving on now to item 6F, announcement for a reception honoring former council member Erickson immediately following this adjournment, where he's going to have the opportunity to speak again. No, but please stick around. We have some refreshments, the opportunity to recognize Leaf and his family, and opportunity to congratulate them and thank you. So moving on now to item 7, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Mike.
Forgot, move to adjourn.
Second.
I got a place 2 motion to adjourn. I got a second from place 5. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous. We are adjourned at 6:44.